A woman with no friends or a very small circle is a very, very secure woman. Trust me. She's learned that quality matters more than quantity. She doesn't need a crowd to validate her worth. Her confidence comes from within, not from the approval of others. She's not afraid to stand alone because she knows her own strength. She's selective with her energy and who she lets into her life. She's seen the fake friendships, the drama and the gossip, and she's walked away from all of it. She's built a life that's peaceful and drama-free, and she's happier for it. She doesn't need to be surrounded by people to feel complete. She's comfortable in her own company. She knows the true friends are rare, and she'd rather have a few real ones than a bunch of fake ones. Her small circle is made up of people she can truly trust, people who have proven their loyalty. She doesn't waste time on meaningless relationships. Her time is precious, and she spends it wisely. She's a woman who knows what she wants, and she won't settle for anything less. So, if you meet a woman with no friends or a very small circle, don't underestimate her.
8 signs of a Sigma woman. Number 1, she's a loner. Number 2, she prefers being alone. Number 3, she's very confident being alone. Number 4, she's very confident in herself and her abilities, and the opinions of others about her, they don't matter. Number 5, she knows the truth that the best way that she can help you is to help herself. And she knows that the best way for you to help her is for you to help yourself. Number 6, she is of course an introvert and likely also very intuitive. Maybe even has a life path number of 1. Number 7, because of her highly intuitive nature, she is also highly sensitive and also very much a powerful manifester. And number 8, she will never tell you that she is a Sigma.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Somebody Come Listen to This podcast. Once again, I am your host, Nava. If you are new here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and let's go ahead and talk about it. So, friendships. Do y'all have friends? I don't have friends. Like, I have never really had friends. I'm a Virgo, so ever since I was like a little girl in elementary school, I never had friends. And as I got older, I started to understand why, but that didn't stop me from still trying to be friends with people. I feel like I'm a Sigma. I know I shouldn't be saying that out loud, but I feel like I'm a Sigma woman. What she described was exactly me. But as I get older, I've tried to be fake. That didn't work because most people could tell when you're being fake and when you're not being yourself. So that didn't work for me. So I've tried being myself, and that doesn't work for me because I'm brutally honest. And so I used to have really bad social anxiety. I don't anymore. I just don't really like people now that I'm older. I just turned 41 a couple of days ago. I really just don't like people now, and I don't think anything is wrong with me. I used to think stuff was wrong with me, but I really don't think anything is wrong with me. But I am going to go ahead and start these videos, and I will probably be interrupting here and there to give my commentary. So let's get into it.
I have discovered that being alone is really not a bad thing. You know, I know a lot of girls would be like, oh, it's a red flag if a female doesn't have a friend or if she doesn't have a group of friends. Personally, I disagree with that. You know, I had a friend date 2 weeks ago. We were talking about this and she was like, you know, I think it's a red flag if a female doesn't have a group of friends, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, can you enlighten me? Like, go into detail about this? Why is it a red flag? And she was just like, well, I feel like, maybe she doesn't know how to have relationships with people. She doesn't know how to maintain friendships. She may not know how to be loyal, And I was like, I get all of that. But on the other side of the fence, have you ever wondered to yourself that maybe this person is traumatized from really bad friendships? They could have experienced people that played them, people that were disloyal to them, people that didn't have any integrity. So I always feel like there's two sides of the story. Like, never just be biased and have one side of the fence that you're on.
Yeah. So I guess we're now painting this narrative that the girls that don't have a lot of friends are the weird ones. Well, I mean, I guess I'm weird. I guess I'm weird because I don't want to hang out with bitches that aren't consistent. I guess I'm weird because I don't want to hang out with bitches that are boring and don't want to fucking have fun and just want to be cute all the fucking time. I guess I'm weird because bitches aren't able to be honest and transparent and speak up about how they truly feel about shit, and they just want to be fucking sneaky. I guess I'm weird because bitches are intimidated by me and always want to be in competition. I am weird. Yes, I am a weird bitch. Stay your odd asses away from me.
You've reached the point in your life where you have no friends. Like, you literally have no friends because you either, one, you outgrew them, or two, it turns out your friends were not really your friends. And you're also at the stage where you're not going to put up with that anymore. So these people fell off, or you had to cut them off. If you're at this point in your life, I'm here to tell you this is actually a really good sign. It's a sign that your life is about to change. And because your life is about to change, the people in it are going to change too. So you're reaching a new level and you're going to be alone for a minute. But after some time, you're going to start attracting new people in your life. And this is where life tests you, because you're going to start attracting better people into your life that are going to teach you new things. You're going to realize, although you've left behind your old life and the bullshit that comes with it, you realize that you carried on some of that bullshit with you. And the kicker is, you don't even notice it. It's a blindside. You can't see it. But the new people that are going to come into your life are going to hold up a mirror to you and show you. Although you may think that you've done a lot of self-work and that you're ready for your new life, these new people are going to make you realize that you still have behaviors from your past life that will not work for you in your new life. It's going to sink in that you actually have more work to do on yourself, and that you need to fix these behaviors, otherwise you're gonna regress. So you are gonna get to a point where you're gonna start attracting more valuable people in your life. The thing is, valuable people do not just let anybody in their life, okay? They're gonna be vetting you. And here's the top 3 things that they're gonna be observing and looking out for. First, and let me just note, this is the most important one. First, they're gonna look out for your time management. Valuable people value their time. They're not going to be okay with that last minute cancellation or last minute rescheduling. With your previous friends, it may have been okay to do this. It may have been okay to cancel last minute and everybody just laughs about it and just reschedules for another time. And if you're like me, I'm Filipino and I'm Pacific Islander. And if you know Islanders are very nonchalant about their time. We just be going with the flow. If somebody cancels, no one really cares. No one really gets reprimanded. Everything's fine. But once you've reached this new level in your life, that is no longer going to be okay. So change that behavior. If you're going to commit to someone at a certain time, make sure you are 100%, because canceling last minute looks bad, and I had to learn this the hard way. The second thing they're going to look out for is how you handle disagreements. If you grew up in a toxic household and you also had toxic friends in your life, more than likely you never got to develop this skill of being able to disagree with someone in a healthy way. When you're in disagreement with someone, you have to keep in mind that you're not there to win and you're not there to argue. You are there to come to an understanding. I'm not saying you need to be agreeable. I'm saying you can be firm with your opinions, but still have the flexibility to be able to see somebody else's point of view. And the third thing they're going to be looking at is how you regulate yourself emotionally. Valuable people who value themselves are very big on respect. So you got to be able to emotionally regulate yourself. Even if you're angry, don't get disrespectful. A lot of us, when we get angry, we just say anything in the heat of the moment and then apologize for it later. This type of behavior may have been excused and okay with your previous friends and previous people in your life, but it's not gonna fly with these new people that you're gonna attract, because respect is number one. And even though you act out of character and you didn't mean to, that is still a red flag for them. Even if they view you as friendly, pleasant, and kind, if you don't have a hold of yourself when you're angry or when you're in your feelings, this person's gonna look at you and think you're unpredictable, and that's also not gonna fly with them. Another thing to know about valuable people, they don't give out second chances like that. So more than likely, they will cut you off. They will not give you a second chance. If that happens to you, just take it as a lesson.
No friends?
Don't feel bad if you have no friends. So if you have no real connections in the real life and you have no friends, don't feel bad, because yes, it is great to have friends. It is a beautiful thing to have a nice support group. It's really, really nice if you have a bunch of girls that you can trust. But let's face it and let's be realistic. A lot of women are competitive by nature, especially ambitious women. So if you're not an ambitious woman and you are just a woman that is in the neighborhood and, you know, everybody knows you as that girl in the neighborhood and you lived in that house all your life, then that's fine. You know, you're not posing a threat. But a lot of ambitious women are posing a threat to other women, unfortunately. Not all, but some. So it's going to be harder for an ambitious woman who wants more for herself to have a full circle of female friends. It's not impossible, but it's going to be a little bit harder. So don't feel bad if you are getting to the next level each time, getting higher and higher and higher, and all you see around you are these snakes, these snaky women with they're so evil and they just want to feed off you. They want your information. They want to know how you did it. How did you get there? How do you look the way you do? Because they're trying to feed off you. And sometimes it's best just to accept you're alone. Just accept it. The moment you accept it, that's when the magic happens. Just accept you're alone and move on. Do the best you can do in the situation you're in. And I think I want to include Hedy Lamarr. Hedy Lamarr, please go watch her on YouTube. There is a little video on her quotes. And she said, you know, what people build in a lifetime can be, you know, blasted down in 2 seconds, but keep building anyway. People are impossible, but love them anyway. And I do love that quote. And that's how I live my life. I love Hedy Lamarr. If you don't know her, go check her out. She invented Wi-Fi. And she has some amazing quotes. But yeah, don't feel bad if you have no friends. Sometimes it just means that you are your next level type chick, and those other women are so jealous. They're so jealous, even though that you are a nice person, just by you being and your presence in the room just annoys them so much that they can't even have a friendship with you. And it's more sad for them, because they're women with broken dreams and you are a woman who fulfilled your dreams.
Another way that centering my husband has negatively affected my life is the lack of relationships that I have with women, like women friendships and connections, real connections with other women. And I realized like my socialization skills have been so directed about connecting with men, getting men to like me, dating, relationships. Like that's where a lot of my socialization skills are. And I don't really have a lot when it comes to women. I went to a concert this weekend. I was in line to get into the venue. This woman that was next to me started chatting to me. I went to the concert alone because I have no friends. And she was asking me questions like about the group, blah, blah, blah. And I was answering her questions. And I just felt so awkward in the exchange. I just felt nervous and just really uncomfortable. After the interaction was over, I realized that I didn't really ask her a lot of questions. I almost like wanted to get away from her because and I realized I'm so uncomfortable and so awkward talking to women because I feel like I don't know what women want from me. Like maybe I don't know how to be like a good friend to women. Much time trying to please men. A lot of my socialization, especially when I was younger, revolved around dating and relationships with men. What do men like? What do men want from me? What do I have to be so a man will like me? And you don't need to do a lot of that with women. You know, you really just kind of have to be a genuine like person, a whole person, for other women to like you and to connect to you. But if you don't have that, if you haven't developed that, which I really never did, then it's really awkward trying to create these friendships and be a good friend to other women. I have one friend who is like my ride or die. She's my best friend for over 25 years. But I realized that she's done a lot of the heavy lifting in the relationship. We've been there for each other and we've supported each other. But I just feel like I haven't done enough to be a good friend to her, and giving her more of what she needed. And I just right now I'm at a period in my life, especially in this Decenter Men journey, where I'm realizing how much I lack as a person and as a human being, because I spent so much time developing this sense of self only geared towards men, which is a completely empty and useless really investment, that the real investment that I should have been making should have been in other women. I think a lot of it kind of has to do with just not liking yourself as a woman, not valuing yourself as a woman. And if you don't like and value yourself as a woman, it's really hard to do that for other women. I'm learning it in therapy. I'm trying to reverse this. Yes, I'm 52. Yes, I should have known better, but I didn't know better. Now I am learning. And I'm really hoping that I can start developing that skill set, be a whole person like myself, so I can start making these real connections and real friendships with women.
I have a male-centered acquaintance, and I won't even call her a friend, because every time we get to the point of almost being friends, she'll either get a boyfriend or start a talking stage with some guy and just completely disappear off the face of the earth. And then when she breaks up with that guy, she pops right back in. She's inviting me out to drinks. She wants to go out all the time. She's like, let's go do something. And so I'll give in and say, okay, let's see if she's changed this time around. So I'll go out, and then the entire time I can just see she's looking to find a guy. She's just waiting to lock eyes with some guy. Everything she does is about getting the next man. It's so crazy. So the last person she started dating, she disappeared for a year and a half or so. And then I don't know if he ended up cheating or what he did, but they broke up. And it was almost immediately. It was the week of the breakup. She all of a sudden is inviting me out multiple days in a row. So I was like, this is so weird, because I haven't heard from you. So then I go and look on her social media, and lo and behold, they broke up. So I'm just I'm not that friend that you're going to keep just hanging in the balance until you're ready to be friends for real. So I did eventually cut her off. And this was quite recent, but it's just so I cannot be friends with male-centered women. And it's not a problem to want male attention, but it's when you start putting that above your friends, your career, your own livelihood. Everything you do has to involve getting a man or keeping whatever man you have. And
a lot of you guys are so censored by men because you don't have money. $500,000? Y'all wouldn't even be thinking about why the man not texting you, because you in Paris shopping. Clock it. Oh, what? Who's that? What? His name is Anthony who? Oh, excuse me, I'm in a shit also. Excuse me, let me call you back.
Can't be friends with women who are boy crazy and obsessed with male attention.
Okay, no, but can we talk about this one? Because no offense if the shoe fits, but women who are boy crazy are a liability, and quite frankly, they not your friends for real. Women who prioritize male acceptance and validation over everything will do quite literally anything to get it, including throwing you, their friend, under the bus, trying to embarrass you to make them look better, and in worst case scenarios, putting you and your safety at risk, for example, leaving you alone at a party to go be with a guy. Not to mention their only contribution to their friendship is them talking about guys relentlessly and usually being extremely self-centered, because all they want to talk about is the guys you're talking to and the problems that come with it. Unfortunately, these women find their identity in their proximity to males, and it's sad to see and be around. But as sad as it may be to see, that ain't my problem to fix, okay? I make sure to steer clear of women who are very much boy crazy, because the character Cassie isn't just on a TV show, she's in real life too, okay?
I am a girl's girl through and through, and I have been looking for a best friend for the past...
Okay, I don't know who this young lady is, but I had a chance to watch your entire video, and you seem like the sweetest girl ever, honestly, and you're so pretty. However, I gotta be honest with you, okay? This might hurt, but it's gonna help you. The reason why it's hard for you to find friends, like female friends, as well as sustain those friendships is because a lot of women are male identified. Yep, I said it. And you're going to notice this as you get older. When those friends that you have get into a relationship, or if a man starts giving them attention, pay very close attention to that. Because sometimes what happens is that their personality, their entire existence and livelihood is going to be centered around that very man. And when that happens, you go from being a friend to a placeholder very quickly. I couldn't snap my finger. That was really awkward. But anyways, you go from being a friend to a placeholder. And when you're a placeholder, that girl is only going to come to you, and she's only going to want to see you and hang out with you whenever there is drama, toxicity, and turmoil currently occurring in that relationship. You will be a therapist. You will be the comforter. And it's going to happen repetitively. And if you find that it's happening on a repetitive basis, you need to take a step back and really analyze and assess where your friendship stands. And it's sad because I've had to do this with a few girlfriends, and it hurts knowing that you were only there just to be the therapist, nothing more. Just, I need you because my man and I are having issues. I don't know what to do. I can't find solutions, blah, 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 blah. And it becomes so repetitive to the point where it's really going to start to mess with you emotionally, and you're going to feel exhausted and depleted. And when that happens, like I said, that's where you need to assess where your friendship stands. And something I've noticed about male identified women who constantly feel the need to hyperfixate themselves around the concept of marriage, the concept of being with a man, or just men, period, I find that when they center those men, they have no time and they don't have the capacity to be able to center themselves. And what happens is that when they center those men, their lives are chaotic. It is filled with drama, it is just traumatic, and it's always resulting in turmoil. Like, there's no middle ground and there's no peace. And mind you, I'm coming from a very observational perspective, and I'm also coming to you from experience. Women who center men, they don't know how to center themselves. Whereas women who do center themselves and remove themselves from the outcome of marriage, being a mom, and focus on other outlets where they can prioritize themselves, those women are so at peace. They are so at peace. They are able to find other outlets where they can not only center themselves, but also find opportunities to connect with other women who are also decentering men. And that's where you need to start vetting, okay? I know there's a lot of advice on social media that talks about, oh, well, you know, you got to vet this man. You got to ask him these questions, whoop-de-whoop, blah, 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 blah. But what's missing is that you also need to apply that same vetting energy into your friendships. And in moments like this, I become very grateful because I have a couple of girlfriends who have completely decentered men. And I gotta tell you, nothing feels more liberating and peaceful than being able to hang out with your girlfriends, sit down and talk about things that do not involve what a man did, what a man said, and just putting him on a pedestal to the point where that's all that you can talk about. We talk about goals, we talk about hobbies, we talk about where we want to see ourselves and things that we've undergone and the lessons that we've learned. And we can just go out and say, you know what, let's do this, or let's try something new, right? It just feels so good to have that. And I find that as a woman, when you center yourself, okay, that's when men want you. I mean, the real ones, you know what I'm saying? That's when they really want you, because they're like, oh snap, she's not putting me on a pedestal. She ain't chasing me around. She ain't acting all crazy, hoop-de-hoop-ha. She's got some good things going for herself. Like, let me chase her, you know? Because that's what they're supposed to do. Men are hunters by nature, okay? So baby girl, I've been in your shoes, and just know that it gets better, but there needs to be awareness, and there also needs to be a vetting process, okay? Because like I said, you always vet the men, but you don't vet the homegirls that you just met, right? So just kind of sit back, ask questions, and just kind of get an understanding of who these women are before you fully give yourself to the idea of a friendship, okay? And the good news is that just from what I'm seeing on social media and just from conversations that I've had with other women, women are also waking up and have realized that, look, me centering myself around this guy, me trying to find a husband, like I need to just step the hell back and just focus on myself. And then that's when everything's going to fall into place. And that is something, girl, that I think you need to do. Take a step back and it'll all fall into place. Center yourself and let things happen organically. Okay?
Part 2 on the reason why I cannot be friends with women who put their man over me. Now, I'm 30 years old, okay? And I'm about to be 31 in June. So majority of the friends I do have now, I've had them since like high school. And we're probably like off and on as friends. But I had this one friend, right? She's probably watching. We're not friends now, but I do see her viewing my TikTok. So, hey girl, how you doing? She will be in a relationship with her man. And, you know, he would dog her out. When I tell you dog her out, dog her out. Now, yes, me being young, I used to give her some advice and stuff like that. But if her and I would get into like an altercation, like, you know, maybe like a disagreement, I'm always the type of friend where I'm willing to talk it out. It's never that serious. If you haven't stolen money from me, you haven't stolen my man, you haven't stolen my job, I don't know, I'm cool. But it's like basic shit that she would like basically like not want to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like just stupid stuff like, oh, okay, I went to her birthday party and she showed up to her birthday party 3 hours late. I was there on time. I was sitting there waiting. I only spent an hour at her birthday. And homegirl was like upset at me because I left. You was 3 hours late to the birthday party that your mom threw for you, and you're mad at me because I was there when the doors opened, and now it's time for me to go home? So she ain't talked to me for over 6 months. But her man put hands on her, stole her car that he bought her, maxed out her credit cards, and you was still with him. But because I left your birthday party early, well, I wouldn't even say early, the time where we were supposed to. Mind you, it started at 8. I left around 10. You stop talking to me? This is what I'm talking about when y'all females be picking and choosing. And this is why after 30, I can't deal with that no more. I can't. Now, before y'all eat me up, remember, I'm talking about boyfriend. I'm not talking about husbands. That's a whole different playing field.
Types of women I cannot be friends with. I genuinely cannot be friends with women who have to do the most for male attention, who have to do the most for male validation. And this all stems back to having low self-esteem. But if I invite you over to my apartment and I introduce you to the security guard at the front desk of my apartment, no way did you sleep with him within 30 minutes. Like, no way did you just do that. It's like the way they move is very classless, and it just be too much. I mean, every male we introduce you to, you sleep with them. I don't like that type of stuff. I don't think you should sleep with like, you know what I'm saying? Every other person is cool. Everybody, or the people who feel like they need to make jokes in front of guys about you, like, hey, remember that time you were in that deadly car crash and you almost died? Ha ha ha. To like try to make the dude laugh or try to like entertain the dude. People who just start doing the most in front of men. People who can't just chill in front of men. People who make like male attention like their end all be all. You guys will be in the bar having a good time. The second a man talks to them, they are gone and they will leave you in the bar. Y'all will be at the restaurant. They will leave with the server. Like it can never just be y'all chilling. It's always like male attention and male validation. It's always the hyper focus of every meeting. I don't even want to be friends with you. Because God forbid somebody who's a 2 out of 10 even looks your way, you're gone. You're gone anyway. So I might as well just go by myself. Really.
Let me tell you something. People don't act weird all of a sudden. Hear me out. I've been through experiences where I've hung out with a person multiple times and then all of a sudden they act weird. But it's not acting weird at all. Because in hindsight, they never really liked you. They never really messed with you like that from the beginning. They just put on a front. And now they can't keep up with you to the point that they have to show who they really are. They can't hide the fact that they don't like you anymore. You have surpassed what their thoughts were. And now they're like, okay, I can't take this. I'm going to show you who I really am. So when a person all of a sudden acts weird, they're not acting weird. This is who they are. They're just showing you the true version of themselves. Listen to it. Listen to your instincts. Listen to your gut. And be mindful around these people. And if you have to cut them off, then cut them off. Nobody out of nowhere, all of a sudden, acts weird. Because believe me, I've been there in friendships and coworkers and classmates, all that, where a person was friendly the whole time and then they pounced on me in a millisecond. And I'm like, whoa, where did this side come from? But it was there all along. Let me tell you, it was there. We just didn't notice it. Or we just brushed off those behaviors that was shown to us. So it's just all about being mindful.
I'm going to have to agree with her. People don't just all of a sudden start acting weird. You may think that if you're a less intuitive person, but me being a Virgo, and y'all know Virgos, for the most part, we're known to be intuitive and we pay attention to everything and everybody around us. We'll notice the funny little looks when we say certain things or do certain things. We can see the looks on people's faces. We pick up on social cues really, really fast. And I think that's why we get drained really fast when we're around a lot of people, because we can tell who's fake, who's genuine, who's like, we can just pick up on so many energies. So when we pick up on an energy right away, we just know that people don't like us. So like if somebody is not answering your text messages like all the time, you know they don't like you. That's common sense. Like if you text them, say 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row, and they just don't respond at all, they don't like you. Or if they take hours or days to respond, or, you know, or if they never get back with you, or if they never call answer your calls, but you know they answer other people's calls or respond to other people's messages. You know, it's not, you know, they're just that super busy. Nobody's that busy that they don't have time to check their messages on their phone. Nobody. They just don't like you. So like one of the girls said before, y'all really need to start vetting girls, because you can tell. And most of the time, like some of these ladies said, a lot of women don't get along with other women, and it all goes back to male worship, and they are like male centered. And the root of it is that women can't get along and don't know how to get along because all women are so centered on males. So let's get back to the videos.
I used to think people who had a lot of friends and spent a lot of time doing a bunch of things with these friends, I thought that was a good thing. Now, the older I get and the more that I'm working on myself, I've realized that is not a good thing. And I'm not trying to cut anybody down and say that you can't have friends, anything like that. This is just something that I've noticed as working on myself and being far more diligent with where I'm putting my energy. And I've noticed that people who are constantly doing things with friends or have a large group of friends and constantly being in communication with these people tend to lack an understanding of their true self. It's almost like they're more uncomfortable being alone, so they have to fill their time and space with other people instead of being truly okay with being by themselves. And I think a big reason for that is most people don't know who they are, so it's almost awkward being alone, truly alone. So that's why they constantly are reaching out for external stimulation and external validation from people, because that kind of helps them fill that void, and they don't have to take a second and look at themselves and be like, who am I? Do I like this person? And do I need to grow? Anything like that. And also, I think that people like this totally lack boundaries and where they're spending their energy. I think of our energy as like a way of currency, and you only have so much, and certain things bring you energy and then certain things take energy from you. So when you are constantly exuding that energy towards external people, there's just no way you are someone who cares about conserving your energy. And with that, that means you probably lack boundaries and don't know how to say no to certain situations, and you feel like you always have to do everything. Call me crazy, but that's just something that I've noticed. So I'm curious if other people have noticed the same.
Thing that I've learned about adulthood is literally leaving people where they act weird at, and just leaving it at that. Not wondering why they're acting weird, not wondering why they're moving a certain way, not going out of your way to inquire why they're moving that way, and just legitimately allowing them to be off in their own space where the weird stuff resides. At the end of the day, I've realized as an adult, the more energy that I invest in wondering why other people are moving a certain way, or wondering why their actions are rubbing me the wrong way, or just overall wondering why they choose to have one foot in my life and one foot outside of my life when they could just have both feet outside of my life, I am taking away from the plot. And what the plot is me. When it comes to my reality, I will only have people around me that are providing dividends to my life. I refuse to surround myself with people that are trying to divide me. And that's what a lot of times these people are trying to do, because they don't even really know what their real problem with you is. They just have a whole lot of animosity because you keep winning. And that's one thing about my God. He do not play about me.
You don't have friends because they're not an energetic match for you. When you start raising your vibration, there are going to be people in your life who can't handle that new vibration, and they're just going to disappear. You're not even going to get an explanation. They're just going to vanish like a mist in the night. But now that your frequency is going up, 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 you're going to become open to an energetic match with other people like you.
A person of many friends is no friend of mine, because ain't no way all those people in your circle like you. There's some type of ingenuineness, some personality fabrication or backstabbing in order to be accepted by that many people. And the state of your self-confidence / self-esteem has to be shot, because ain't no way I need to be around someone 24/7. If you need people to be around you to be validated, you need to go to a counselor. There's an issue within yourself. A lot of you treat friendships like music genres. Oh, I can like hip hop, R&B, rock, Metallica, country. It doesn't even matter. Baby, music and friendships are two different things. And then you ask them what their relationship is to the person, and everyone they come across is their son, bruh, cousin, high school friend, by baby mama, baby sister, baby daddy, brother, cousin, godmama. It never ends. It's some type of relationship that they have with somebody. Girl, you just met this girl 10 minutes ago. So please tell me how you found out that was your cousin within a 10-minute span. And let's talk about the level of stress you have when you have entirely too many friends. Everybody ain't gonna like nobody. So now I gotta adjust, or I can't hang out with her because she don't like you, and vice versa. Babe, I ain't got time for that. My friend circle is so small that I never have to worry about one of my friends not liking the other. Oh, baby, and let's talk about when you fall out with one of your friends. Not everybody know your business. Everybody know your business. If you feel a need to be validated, have a lot of friends, or just to be known, you really need to work on yourself. Everyone is not your friend, and when you realize that, life will become a whole lot better.
And on that note, I'm going to have to agree with the last woman about people who have way too many friends. I've always thought that people that have way too many friends are either fake or unhonest or really shallow. Or all of the things, all of those things. Like, I just feel like when you got that many friends, it's like you can't be honest all the time. Like, you have to constantly watch what you're saying, because, you know, I feel like that around just a few people, because most people don't like truth. So therefore, you have to be shallow about what you talk about. Everybody wants to just stay safe with their conversation so they won't offend anybody. And people take stuff the wrong way all the time, no matter how you say it. If your tone is wrong, people get their feelings hurt. Like, so if you're always around a big group of friends, you really have to, it takes a lot of energy to temper you. You can't be yourself when you're around a lot of people that aren't really friends for you. You can't be yourself. And that's, maybe it's just me, but that's how I feel. Like, because there's so many different opinions and strong personalities. And so that's why it's really hard for me to find friends, because my mouth, like, I'm always saying something crazy. And in a world full of women who just adore men and just, I can't say anything about a man around any women that I know, because the one thing that I cannot handle is if I say something about men in general, and then I have a woman, well, that's not all men, or well, my husband or my uncle, like, when women do that, that is a red flag to me. That's part of my vetting, that I probably won't be able to talk to them about women's stuff or about what I'm going through or about what I'm feeling. You know, I have drunk a little bit, and when I drink, I get really emotional, and I'm really honest when I drink, because I'm really honest when I'm sober or when I'm not drinking. So I open up to, my problem is I open up to the wrong women, because I think that most women think like me, and I feel like they're going to sympathize with me. And that's just not the case. Like, when you open up to a woman and cry about, especially a man, they're going to look at you like you're the problem. Like, especially if it's a man that's like, he doesn't show them who he really is. Most men don't, you know, if he's a narc or something, they're going to be like, what's her problem? They're going to be on his side, like, a lot of the time. And, you know, even if it's a man that is abusive, a lot of women will still, like, look at you like, well, at least you got a man. They know that he's not good for you, but, you know, but if it's a real good friend, she will tell you he's not good for you, but 9 times out of 10, that woman's not going to listen. Even if you have a friend that's telling you that he's not good. And that's another type of person I cannot be friends with. If I know that your man is abusive and you're bringing me into it, and he's saying and doing stuff to me that's out of line, and you don't listen to me, that's a danger to me. And I have to distance myself from talking to you, from being around you. So yeah, I don't want to ramble on and on. I'm going to go ahead and cut this video off right here. But yeah, ladies, get down in the comments and tell everybody if you have friends. Sorry about that. I cut off. But get down in the comments and tell the ladies if you have friends, and have you been through any of these situations or problems that any of the ladies talked about. That's all I got for now, ladies. I will see you next time. Bye.